What if the future of the church had already been revealed? In Medjugorje, the messages given by the Virgin to the visionaries have often touched on the fate of the world and faith. But there is one prophecy more unsettling than the others. It concerns the Pope, a secret that could change the course of history. Stay with us until the end to discover the details of this incredible revelation. In Medjugorje, the Virgin Mary revealed 10 secrets to the visionaries, some of which concern events that will change the world. Among them, it is said that there is a prophecy linked to the Holy Father and the future of the Church. If we look at the history of Marian apparitions, messages have often foretold great trials for the Church and its shepherds. Could Medjugorje contain a warning about a time of great crisis for the Pope? Mirjana, one of the visionaries, has often spoken of difficult times for the Church. In an interview, she revealed that she had seen dramatic scenes in one of her visions, a suffering Pope persecuted with the Church enveloped in darkness. This echoes other prophecies, such as those of Fatima, where a bishop dressed in white is seen walking among ruins before being struck down. The messages of Medjugorje often speak of the need to pray for priests and for the Pope. Why this insistence? According to some interpretations, the pontiff could face a moment of great tribulation, possibly due to external attacks or internal divisions within the Church. In recent years, we have already seen how strong the pressure is on those who lead the Catholic faith. But could the danger be even greater than we imagine? The Virgin Mary has called for constant prayers for the Church. This means that the future is not yet written, and that each of us can play a role. Faith is our most powerful weapon against the forces that seek to weaken the Church. If this prophecy truly concerns the Pope, then we must not remain mere spectators, but become active intercessors. We are facing one of the most mysterious prophecies of Medjugorje. What awaits us? Will it be a period of great trial or a new era of renewal? One thing is certain, prayer can change the course of history. Write in the comments, let us pray for the Pope, and share this video to spread the message of the Virgin. After the death of the current Pope, some believe that the Church will enter a period of great turbulence. Prophecies speak of a time when the unity of the Church will be tested as never before. Rumors suggest a possible schism, with factions divided between those who want to preserve tradition and those pushing for radical change. According to some visionaries, the next Pope could be a transitional pontiff, a man chosen in a time of great uncertainty, but who will have to face insurmountable obstacles. Some claim that the prophecies speak of a final Pope before a time of global purification. Certain references in private revelations and mystical visions suggest that after the death of the current pontiff, there will be a period of great tribulation, with the Church under attack not only from the outside, but also from within. The faithful will be tested, and will have to choose between loyalty to true doctrine and the deception of a false light. Then there are the unsettling words of some apparitions that seem to indicate a time of persecution for the Church, in which the Pope will be forced to flee, and faith will be tested in the fire of suffering. Some interpretations suggest that after this period, the Church will rise again, purer and stronger, but only after a great sacrifice. The importance of prayer becomes even more crucial, as the destiny of the Church may depend on the spiritual resilience of its faithful. If these prophecies are true, the future could be more unsettling than we imagine. However, the Virgin Mary continues to remind us that with faith and prayer, we can overcome any trial. Nothing is definitively written, and heaven always offers us a chance for redemption. This is why it is essential to remain vigilant, steadfast in faith, and ready to support the Church in the difficult times that may come. The story is not yet over, and each of us has a role to play in this great divine mystery. The death of the current Pope could be the signal that opens the doors to an era of tribulation, as predicted in numerous Marian prophecies. The Virgin has repeatedly warned that the time of great trial will begin with an event that will shake the Church to its very foundations. And what event could be more destabilizing than the passing of the successor of Peter at such a critical moment in history? The pontiff is the symbol of the stability of faith, the shepherd who guides the flock through the storms of the world. His departure, in an era already marked by deep divisions and attacks against the Church, could be the spark that ignites chaos. Adverse forces, which have long been working to weaken Christianity, could take advantage of this power vacuum to advance their plans. The risk is that of a controversial conclave, an election influenced by internal currents that no longer have the true faith at heart, but rather a vision of the world that distorts the message of Christ. The prophecies of Medjugorje and other apparitions indicate that, immediately after the death of a pope, the Church will enter a period of great confusion, in which many faithful will feel lost, betrayed, and disoriented. Internal division could lead to a schism with two opposing factions, one defending tradition and authentic teaching, and the other attempting to adapt the Church to the logic of the world, renouncing the truth. This clash could be the prelude to the great apostasy, the moment when many will abandon the faith and follow deceptive doctrines. But the tribulation will not be only spiritual. The Madonna spoke of events that will shake the earth, of calamities accompanying this religious crisis, as signs of the time that is about to be fulfilled. Wars, uprisings, persecutions against Christians, everything could explode in rapid succession, while the Church will be at its most vulnerable moment. The death of the Pope will therefore be more than a simple passing of the torch. It will be the signal that the time of trial has begun, that the prophecies are being fulfilled before our eyes. Now more than ever, it is essential to remain steadfast in faith and not be deceived. The tribulation will come, but those who remain faithful will not be abandoned. The Madonna invites us to pray, to consecrate ourselves to the heart of her Son, for only through faith and prayer can we overcome the time of great trial. Write, "We remain faithful" in the comments, and share this message so that more people can spiritually prepare for what is to come. After the death of the current Pope, a shadow could fall over the Church, marking the beginning of an unprecedented era of tribulation. The prophecies of Medjugorje speak of a time when faith will be shaken to its foundations, and the very heart of the Church will be tested by dark forces, both internal and external. What looms on the horizon is not only a crisis of leadership, but an epochal clash between truth and deception, between light and darkness. According to some revelations, the next pope could be a transitional pontiff, a weak or obstructed leader who will not be able to contain the growing chaos. But there is another even more disturbing possibility, that of a false shepherd, a leader who, instead of guiding the Church according to God's will open the doors to deceptive doctrines and rampant apostasy. This event would mark the fulfillment of one of the most feared Marian prophecies, which announce a time when even the most devoted faithful will be tempted to doubt and waver. A period of great confusion is expected, in which many cardinals and bishops will divide, creating an irreparable rift within the Church. Authentic faith will risk becoming a remnant, a small hidden remainder among the ruins of a compromised institution. Rome itself could become the center of a spiritual conflict, prompting the legitimate pope to flee, leaving the Vatican at the mercy of the forces of the world. But the prophecy does not stop here. The Madonna has warned that if the world does not convert, catastrophic events will accompany this spiritual crisis, tangible signs of divine justice that will come to purify humanity. Wars, unrest, cataclysms, everything could happen in rapid succession, like the labor pains of a birth that announces the time of purification. Faced with such a disturbing scenario, there remains only one way: relentless prayer, fidelity to the true doctrine, and perseverance in faith. It will be a time of trial, in which only those who remain steadfast in the truth will be able to discern the light from the darkness. The question each of us must ask is, will we be ready when the time comes? Let us pray and remain vigilant, for the time of great trial is approaching. It is hypothesized that the Pope's successor may face unprecedented challenges. Some visions speak of a pontiff forced to make difficult decisions in a world increasingly hostile to the Christian faith. Divisions may emerge within the clergy, with some cardinals and bishops pushing for a radical change in doctrine, while others will remain faithful to tradition. In this scenario, the new pope could face not only external attacks from governments and ideologies opposed to the Church, but also an internal rift that would weaken his authority. Another unsettling aspect of these prophecies concerns the possibility of a schism. Some visionaries have described a time when the church will seem to divide into two. On one side, a faction that will follow a modernist interpretation of the faith, adapting to the demands of the world. On the other, a small remnant faithful to traditional teachings. This division could lead to an unprecedented spiritual struggle, putting the very unity of the church at risk. Now more than ever, it is crucial to remain firm in the truth and not be deceived by false prophets or doctrines that distort the gospel. The Madonna continues to invite us to convert, to pray, and to trust in God's mercy. The time is approaching, and the trials to come may be harsh, but those who remain faithful will not be abandoned. Right, let us pray for the church in the comments and share this message so that more people can join in prayer. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the upcoming revelations.